I'm about to choke to death. We ain't seen a highway in a long, long, long time. We ain't seen a highway in a long, long time. Bugs swarm to the light, and that bird sing us a lonesome song as I roll on through the night. We ain't seen a highway in a long, long, long time. We ain't seen a highway in a long, long time.
Sand on toes, cold sand in sleeping bags. I come to know that memories were the best things you ever had. The summer shorn, beat down on bony backs, so far from home where the ocean stood, down dust and pine cone tracks. We slept like dogs down by the fireside, awoke to the fog where all around us the boom of summertime.
It's Thursday, camp chore day. There's Michael. Finally got everything set up. Last thing we're gonna do, tent's all set up. Finish moving our wood. And here it is, elk camp 2018. Pretty cozy last night. Stove really helped. So Michael and I did all the preparation for the hunt, and when I realized that our dog chewed up the belt buckle on both of our hunting packs. It's Thursday afternoon. Michael and I decided to go for a little walk. We're about a mile and a quarter from camp. Michael's doing some lost muse over there. We're just listening, looking for signs. There's a lot of elk sign in here. It's very exciting. We're just gonna keep walking, see what we see.
We're on top of the mountain. It is
5 o'clock.
Is it 5? Yeah. 5 o'clock on Thursday. We've been looking for elk. And we really found this nice knob on top of the hill with some water nearby. So we're gonna go check it out, see if we see anything.
It looks real nice though.
We're like, what, 10,000?
Yeah, we're probably at 10.5 here. There's snow on the mountains across the valley.
We're back. It's been about 10 minutes since we last talked to you. And like we thought we did, bump a little bull, maybe a 5x5. We came around a corner and he was standing right in the middle of the open staring at us. So he took off. But we knew there were elk up here and we found him. So we came across this nice watering hole that in any year that didn't have exceptional drought like this year would probably have water in it. But we're going to make ourselves down drainage of this and set up and start doing some contact bugles.
We're watching a pretty big bull, a nice 6x down here. It's snowing, you can see him walking across the meadow. Nice. There's another little bull down there with him too, but we let him walk. There's this bull we were just watching. Well within range.
190 yards.
190.
Broadside.
We're hoping he doesn't come up here because we're kind of sitting right in the open.
This is the shot you hope and pray for.
But we got 2 more days till opening, so He's in here.
We're back at camp. It is 8 o'clock in the evening on Thursday, and we just finished about 6 miles of scouting up here in Valle Vidal. And on our way out, trying to be sneaky and not spook that guy, we finally found a herd bull. Bumped a herd of probably 30 cows. Well, I guess we didn't bump them.
We didn't bump him. We heard him
came
yelling.
Up on him.
Yeah.
So we're going to sit here by our nice fire that we got going in the tent and develop a game plan for getting that guy. What do you got to say, Jay?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm tired.
We're tired.
And we grow, steady as the morning, here we grow, old as steel, how we grow, happy as a new dawn, we grow, old as steel, how we grow, steady as the flowers, here we grow, old as steel, how we grow, happy as a new dawn, we grow, old as steel.
It's Friday. We're packing in for 2 nights, hopefully less, depending on what happens.
Yep.
And we're already tired.
Spike Camp 2018.
First time we've ever done this.
Yep.
We'll see what happens. Also, it's our 5-year anniversary.
So we're still moving into Spike Camp. We're about a mile from base camp, and we're coming up on the little opening meadow that we ran into the herd bull and his cows last night. So we're gonna take a little time, see if there's any way to make a play on this opening, and then make our way into our determined Spike Camp. We're getting ready to climb the ridge for the evening, and so we had to top off our waters because we're gonna be way up top there for the next day or so.
Michael and I have been gearing ourselves up for hiking this big hill that we're gonna camp on by saying embrace the suck. I'm not embracing it right now. This is rough.
How bad does that hill suck?
What?
How bad does that hill suck?
This hill sucks.
We're walking up a ridge line. Got some pretty deep valleys next to us. Lots of elk sign. Looking for where we're gonna spike. Embrace the suck. Hey, we're starting to top off of the ridge that we were hiking up earlier. And kind of as we thought, bedded down in these drainages, we have either located the herd bull or a herd bull. I stepped on a twig and the contact peeled at us and it started clunking, assuming he's talking to cows.
We finally made it to our spike camp. Oh, there's Micah waving. Here it is. First time sleeping with plastic because it snowed and rained like crazy last night. So we're hoping it's not the same. But this is the first really pretty day we've had since we've been here. Plus it's our anniversary. Added bonus.
Yay, we're camped at what, 10,000?
10-4 here. We're gonna go down and sit this meadow here in a little
They're
bit.
all down there. we hope.
Yep. So,
And hopefully the wind keeps coming this way.
and hopefully that's our game plan for the morning.
We're posted up, looking into the meadow we're planning on hunting tomorrow. And we've got 2 bulls down at the bottom. A small 5x5 and a little 4x something. We'd pass on both of them for now, but it's pretty cool to watch. They're circling each other. Back here at Spike Camp, it is 8:20. Had an awesome evening looking at that meadow. I think we probably heard a total of 6-ish, something like that. Didn't see all of them, but heard a bunch. Anyways, we're sitting here. It is our anniversary. We're having our delicious dehydrated 5-year anniversary in the hills here in the middle of the mountain. But we're gonna finish eating, wrap it up, and we're gonna go to bed. Got a big day tomorrow.
It's cold AF. We're going to bed. It's 8:30. Michael's saying, why do we even bring all the sleeping stuff? Because we're going to be too excited to sleep.
Accurate statement.
We're going to try. It's going to be awesome.
Yep.
When we rise, that's the time. That's the time.
Good morning. We're back at our spot at first shooting light. Jay's ready to go. Scoping out there. That 4x and that little 5x are still out here in the middle, but we don't see any cows or any of the big boys we saw yesterday. So we're gonna hang tight. Maybe they'll show up.
Blue's the color of the sky in the morning. When we rise in the morning. When we rise.
Alright, Saturday around 10 something. And we just hunted all morning, and the spot and stalk we put on those 3 bulls was not successful, but we did get right up on them. There was a nice 6x, 5x that we would have passed on. I did see a raghorn in there too. No cows at all, anything. But we got busted, and they took off the hill, and we did a giant loop, and now we're filling up water. Also, our propane is out, so kind of a little food issue, but we'll figure it out. Fine. Woke up around 4:30 because we heard an elk bugling in the trees across the canyon from us. So we decided to get staged up and listen.
We get ready.
So we posted up. We had a good plan, a couple of nice little spots we could run back and forth between because there was a curtain of trees that would hide us.
Yep.
And
the plan was a passive approach. We were just going to sit there and hopefully have elk present themselves in the meadow like they'd done every night previously.
right, but that was not the case. We actually heard 2 bulls initially going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, but they were in the trees, and we didn't know if they had cows or not. So we waited. We decided to just wait and see what would happen until about 6 o'clock, which is kind of right around when we saw the other animals step into the meadow in the previous evenings. So wait until about 6, and there was screaming, a lot of screaming. We're up to 3 bulls now.
Yep. And there were 2 of them for sure that were just stuck in the trees right at the edge of the meadow. They
Yes.
were loud and they were close, but they were not coming out of those trees.
At one point, I could even hear a bull raking his antlers in the trees across from us. We decided to do something we've never done before.
We started cow calling. Yep, we started putting out some lost mews, some regular mews. I was running all over the hillside behind Jay in the trees.
Every time Michael would mew, or he'd sound like a calf or a couple of cows and calves, we would get response from the bulls, and they were coming closer and closer, but they were not stepping out of those trees for anything. You could hear them screaming on the hillside, and then another one would scream. There was definitely at least 3 bulls right in our vicinity, screaming their fool heads off. Michael kept playing them like a fiddle.
Yep. And, as they got closer and closer, we realized, they might not actually come out of these trees. And so I switched my calling to some assembly mews. And what was that called? Selfish mew.
Right?
And that really got the bulls' cows worked up.
So we're sitting there, and these 6 cows come just running into the meadow. Running. And where there's cows, there's a bull.
Generally a bull.
So we waited, and these cows all ran down to the water, and not a minute behind them a bull comes out and just steps into the edge of the meadow and stands there. And initially, we couldn't tell if he was a shooter or not. Just the position he was in and the angle, we just weren't sure if he was going to be the mature bull we were after, but we assumed he probably was because there was 6 cows there. So I frantically asked Michael if he was a shooter.
Yep. I wasn't sure. I said, I don't know yet. Don't shoot him yet until we figure it out. And then he lifted his nose, but we were able to see the length of his brow tines as he turned his head up. At that point, I said, he's yours. He's definitely a shooter if you want to take him. Jay just did it. She put the shot on this bull here. He's gonna fall down any moment. It's a nice 5 or 6 by. If he's teetering, oh yeah, he's going down. Baby, you did it. You did it.
He came trotting up the hill, and my first shot was high. I grazed his back, and then he turned, and I was panicking at the point. And at that point, and Michael was like, "Calm down, calm down, calm down."
We'll get another shot.
Yeah. So he's
not going anywhere.
He did turn broadside after about 3 minutes, and his cows just kind of stood milling around, and then they took off. And my second shot was good. It was a double lung. So he went about 40 feet and stumbled, and then the real work started after that.
She did it. She did it. We're in the meadow that we've been scouting for the last 3 nights.
Yeah.
We have seen animals in here. We have not seen this guy in here yet. He had about 6 cows with him, so we're excited that he's mature. We've definitely seen a lot of good bulls in here that had no cows with them, but we're very excited, and when we go up to him here in 20 minutes or so, we'll take some pictures. Yay, Jay!
Oh, and I will be with you when the darkest winter comes. Oh, and I will be with you to feel the California sun. Oh, and I will be with you in the nighttime when it's through. Oh, I'll go anywhere with you.
And so that was amazing for us. That was the first time we've ever tried a calling strategy, but our setup completely worked.
Yep.
They stepped right out. We played right to those cows, and it was really awesome to watch them respond. Really, really cool. It's the first time we've ever seen that, and really proud of ourselves for making that work.
If you get up in the mountains, if you go climbing on trees, oh, through every emotion, when you know that they don't care, darling, that's when I'm with you. Oh, I'll go with you anyway.
It's midnight, and we made it back to base camp. Jay is getting a fire going. It's windy and chilly. That walkout definitely sucked, carrying the head and the cape, and Jay had to carry all the other gear that we had. But the adventure's not over. Tomorrow we go back in with game carts to get the rest of the quarters, and we still have a spike camp at 10,400 feet, so we got to climb back to the top of the damn mountain and get our stuff. So we're going to eat some dinner, relax, go to bed, do it all over again. Here we are. It's 10:20 in the morning, the day after we harvested our elk. It's cold and it's rainy, and we're having a real hard time leaving base camp with the fire going here.
Embrace the suck.
We got the courage to get out of the tent. As you can see, it's snowing and cold. We're gonna leave the tent here. We packed the wood stove, so hopefully it's still warm when we get back. But we got our game carts, and we're headed in.
Dun dun dun.
Like they say, go in light, come out heavy.
Just think, we're almost not even there yet. Think he'll let me ride on that thing? I asked him, he said no.
We've made it. Got our quarters and our back straps and neck meat. We're covered in snow, but we're gonna get these loaded, and then we've got a spike camp at the top of this ridge here that I need to go pick up. So as I go get that, Jay's gonna start shuttling these carts back down the road. Coming into Spike Camp, 10,400 feet. It's nice and snowy up here. Seek outside tent. Looks like it did pretty good. Got some snow on it, holding it down. Get our stuff packed up, and we'll get out of here. Deep game cart tracks in the snow. I'm gonna start calling those victory tracks. Jay's been working real hard while I was up getting Spike Camp packed up, shuttling our loaded game carts down the trail here. I'm gonna rendezvous with her here in a little bit and take over one of them. We'll get back to base camp. And it's a mile from base camp to the cars and off to the processor.
Oh my, when the light hits your smile, there's a fire that ignites at the bottom of my heart. Ooh, me, oh my, if we open our eyes, I think we're both gonna find that it's a wonderful life.
All right, we're driving out.
We made it.
We made it. We're gonna take the elk to the processor.
Yep.
And
And the deck service.
yes, and then we're gonna come back for a few days of leisurely camping. Once in a lifetime, once.
Once in a lifetime ever.
We did it.
We look up at the stars, a perfect night to dream with you. Got 90s retro on the radio, our favorite tune. I put the pedal to the metal just to laugh with you. It's interstellar when it's just us two. We're taking off. We're taking off. This is what I live for, baby, on my open road. You can take me anywhere the wind blows, right into the great unknown. We can throw our hands up out the window. This is what we live for.
Not sure where we're gonna sleep tonight, but might be the floor of the tent.